If you're considering immigrating to New Zealand, or you have decided that that's what you want to do, but you're feeling overwhelmed, frustrated, and confused about all the information out there, not quite sure where to start, this video might help you. With any other travel plans, you need a roadmap, right? To know how to get from one destination to the other. Well, immigration is no different. You are going to need a roadmap. So this is where you start. In this immigration process, there are 5 phases, right? And you are going to go through all 5 of these phases. This is how you build your roadmap specifically for you. You need to start with phase 1. Not looking at visas, jumping into applying for roles and jobs advertised randomly, but strategically planning each phase step by step. The first phase leads into the second phase, the third phase, etc. Right? So the first phase, you have your decision making and your consideration. There's a lot of things there that you need to decide on and be aware of before you can move and progress to the second phase, which is your planning and preparation phase. In that phase is where all the paperwork and all the nitty-gritty detail is, and you need that to be done before you can go to third phase, which is your physically moving phase, right? Once you're physically moved, then you go into the phase where you resettle. This is where you need to integrate into the community, sort out accommodation where you're going to buy, or maybe you're going to relocate again in New Zealand. But that then has a final progression into the last phase, which is your retirement phase. All these phases build onto the next phase. If you skip a phase, that is where you get problems. So I see a lot of people skipping phases, not starting with phase 1. They just immediately start applying for roles online. Then they end up with problems. Costly mistakes that waste a lot of time and money. If you apply for the wrong role and you just take a job just to have a job because you're so frustrated of getting those Dear Johnny letters, right? You've all applied for hundreds of jobs and you feel you're just not getting breakthrough. And then when you do get an offer, you just jump in and take it because you're so grateful you finally got a job. But that might be the wrong job, the wrong title, the wrong level, the wrong amount of pay per hour. It's not going to bring you to your residency. So it's really, really important to be clear what is your roadmap, your requirement, the specific job you need, the specific pay you need that fits into the specific visa that you need to eventually reach your immigration goal. Otherwise, you might waste a lot of time and it can cost you a lot of money. So phase 1, what would the outcomes be for phase 1? So if you work through the roadmap in phase 1, you will know exactly why it is that you need to immigrate, and you need to have that clear in your mind. Your family needs to be in alignment about that as well. All these 6 things you need to know in phase 1. If you haven't got answers to all of these that's on the screen now, you're actually not ready to move on to phase 2. Outcome. You will have your visa pathway confirmed, your job strategy. You will know exactly what kind of job to apply for, what kind of companies to apply at, whether they're allowed and accredited to employ you. You'll have your financial plan finished. So all of these things in phase 2 is a lot of planning, a lot of strategic planning, things to tick off. That's the paperwork overload. In phase 3, this is where you get operational stability. That's when you're actually moved, you're in your new country in New Zealand now, and you are then moving on to phase 4. In phase 4 is where you really integrate and settle into the community. So this is about transformation from being an outsider to being an insider. A lot of things to tick off there and strategies that you can follow to make it smoother for yourself. Outcome for phase 5, this is where you can start really celebrating and build on a secure future for your retirement. These are the 5 phases you need to go through: consideration and decision making, planning and preparation, moving, settling, and retiring. For that, you need a roadmap. You need to work on that and plan that for your specific family or your situation. Everyone is different. Everybody goes through all 5 phases, but each phase might look differently for each individual migrant. I hope this helped you a little bit to get a clearer picture of what immigration would look like, could look like for you. If you want a copy of the summarized roadmap, you can click on the link below.